Sorry, I was muted there. Good morning, everybody. Just realised I was muted. Beg your pardon. Yeah, morning, everyone. Just start up as 9 as normal. Just mention it's nice to see a couple of new names there. I'll just go through the format just now. I'll let you all relax, settle in, admit a few more people, and then we can get started. Oh, and they're just saying it's a bit nippy here. See the odd shivering, it's me. And I've got a jumper, and I've got a jacket, and I've got a shirt on, even though the sun is shining. Hi, Christopher, Skipers, that is. Did you fund your account? Because CPI today, you mentioned you'll be funding it for CPI. Did you mention to do that? Because it didn't mention it. Did. I had just thought of it now. Yeah, in Europe, I hate it when the trades don't work out too well, because there's quite a responsibility in that, you know, when you send them out as best you can, and you don't want to lose your own credibility. But I just know sometimes, especially the guy who trade for a while, the markets are very emotional and can behave sometimes very strangely. And yeah, so that happens. Believe me, I do not try and push out stuff that I don't think are pretty good at all. But sometimes the market say, time's fine, just join us, he'll back me up on this one. Sometimes behave well, just scratch your head. Always remember, we can control the stuff we'll learn here in the trade room and courses or whatever, but market movements and emotions, the variables involved are out of our control. We just hope it goes to our viewpoint. Now, I'm going to leave the dollar. We're getting CPI up as two. So it's tomorrow evening in the US. If you want to look at the dollar, Ken, I'll certainly with pleasure. But I'm just suggesting be rather wary of the dollar because, as I said, we've got a major funding coming out just now. Anyways, I'll pass it that. Thanks that in a minute. Right, half past. Good morning, all. Just a few names there. Just want to mention this is a forum. It's a class. A lot of guys come and think it's a class, like the Forex or the CFD classes, which are done by stock market. So just need a quick update. Just give me a moment. Won't take long for the guys who know the score. There's 3 separate companies. Trader 5, a British company, which has got tentacles worldwide. That's the platform which many brokers use, including ourselves at Quick Trade. I'm with Quick Trade. Then you get the Stock Market College, which sells educational packages. And that's where you'll get your Zoom classes, Forex, and the CFDs. They are classes. We come here, it's like a forum, it's ongoing, where we discuss trade ideas, strategies when asked, different trades you might will come up with, basic fundamentals. Interact is the name of the game, which I'm getting at. So just bear in mind, if you just started, you don't know what a pip is, you don't know what a lot size is, you're not sure the difference between a share and a Forex, then you might need to go to a couple of classes because you might find this a little bit much. It's a bit like guys go to university and they haven't gone to do any arithmetic to study maths, and they haven't done their schooling at the matric level or whatever. So you need to have that basics when you come in here, because this is a trading room, not a training room, although we do some bit of trading. We go as regards the overall picture and clarification stuff you might have a question on to learn. But it's not where you come in, unfortunately, training. That's done by Stock Market free. You got to pay for the Stock Market College. Okay, so just bear that in mind, guys. Don't try and say I'm going to try. I want to pay for the course. I'm a bash at this and hope for the best. No. Okay. I employ people. This is not great brains, mostly. So just don't forget to employ them. Okay, Chris. I don't know if you. I don't know. I just want to mention we've got the CPI coming out later on today. Please, if you haven't funded the account, please let other guys in. I don't want guys on demos coming into the CPI, because then the seating arrangement just doesn't work out. You know what I mean? You only got limited seating. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? If you funded it, fine. When I say funded, I don't mean $100. Please, guys, dissuade yourself from the fact you're going to make money in this business if you're underfunded. It's a business. You need capital. And if you don't have the capital, you can't trade. Bottom line, it happens almost daily. Why can't I get into that trade? And check the balance. It's got squat money. You need to have capital. You need to have knowledge. And you need to have the right equipment. And I'm glad I thought of that. Some common sense, please, guys. Think. Trying to attack $1 trillion market with $10. Well, irritates me, actually, to be honest, as you can probably gather. Okay. Good morning, Coney. God, great to have you back. Haven't you been away from it? Maybe you've been busy. Parvo pandemic this side, whatever that is, that's a bit above my head, which is giving me the runaround, and my puppy's got it bad. Oh, shame. Never mind you, Kenny. What about your poor puppies? Well, this time, just joking. Hope you're okay again. And protect your capital. We have these position sizing volumes and position size calculator all about that. Absolutely, yeah. Equity management. Okay, anyway, we got a trade out, as you know, this morning. Discussed yesterday in the trade room. Some guys say maybe we got a bit early. I like the trade, so it's my fault, anybody else's. At 73 odd, whatever it was. It did come a bit. And I went and I pushed it again this morning in the strategy room, and the guys liked it, so we sent it out. Just bring the trade up now. I'm not sure it's too bad to chase it now. I know the ship, some might have sailed, because as you can see there's the entry on the trade idea. But I still think you get a reasonable risk reward even if you chased it now. But those guys who got in, hold on yesterday in the trading room. Those guys got in this morning. Great stuff. You should be in a profit. Those guys have missed it. I still think you can chase it, even these levels. There's a decent risk reward area there. And I think you won't stuff it up too much. Okay, so if you like the trade, I think you can go for it. Good morning, mateys, as they used to say. And Mandel, of course. Okay, so if you want it, there's the details. You might have to go to the calculator. If you haven't got the calculator, as quick as you can, go to the live chat, go to technical support, and get it downloaded on computer, not your phone. Your phone is too limiting. Trading is a backup. I have it on the phone as a backup. To try and do strategies on the phone, well, you know what I mean? Common sense again. But on the laptop, there you have it, and then you can get the calculator up, and you can work out the correct risk reward. Let's have a look at the risk reward if you go in now. 69 to stop. Just let these guys in. Give me a second, guys. And then what's the other? 78, is it? Yeah, 78. So it's 156. If it goes up any further, you can't be chasing it. Not a decent risk reward. We can just squeeze it now. And instead of being, what was here, 58, about 65 grand a micro. So work out your risk accordingly. If you can't do that, go and buy a mass course. Okay, so there we are. Just forget 65 you enter now. If you're already in, well, you already got that. Hope you're all good with that. Okay. Right, that's the Brent sorted. I've got the one out. You know how it's going. Okay, quite surprised me yesterday on the NAS. The dollar actually went up yesterday afternoon. I know it's come back off again now, but it went up quite a bit yesterday after 5 o'clock, 4, 5, 6 o'clock, somewhere around about there. And yet the NAS went up. Remember, if the dollar goes up, usually the NAS comes off. Not exactly, but normally in opposite directions. But this time, for some reason, best known itself, there's a big love of tech stocks you'd be going on at the moment out there. And it looks like the 15,000. I did my weekly analysis that trade the range till we get a breakout, could be either side. I would suspect it might break down a bit, but well, I suspect or not, it's just an opinion. I have to follow what actually happens. And it looks like it's still moving upwards. I think 15,000 is going to be some sort of line in the sand. I wouldn't be joining the upside now. Leave it alone. Don't, in fact, even definitely know. We've got CPI coming out later on, so you know. So yeah, leave it alone. But I think 15,000, if it holds that and starts coming off, I think we might go shorting opportunity. It will depend on interest rates, CPI, and other stuff. So just stand firm at the moment. I won't get too cute. Shepard, you should have that. I mention every day in the trading room. Anybody who comes to the trading room will know I mention every day. You must have this calculator. Just go to the live chat on the website, Quick Trade website. It's on the portal, the live chats, and the Stock Market College website. Click on it and then request technical support and get it downloaded onto your computer. So yeah, avoid that stuff at the moment. So yeah, we'll just sit tight for the moment. I can't now really reply to the guy in detail, but I just got a WhatsApp from a guy. His trade disappeared when I hit the stop loss. I've mentioned this many times, guys. You've got to make sure you've got free margin in your account. Remember, you got the balance, then you got the equity. The equity is the balance plus or minus the profit or loss on the open trade. These things you have to know if you're trading. People are trading without knowing. It's like driving a car where you don't know where the brake is or somewhere, I don't know, whatever. But the point is, and then you have the margin, that's the money on the market, and then you have the free margin. If you run out of free margin, you will be margin called. You know what that means? Google it, go to class. You should be going to classes first before you're trading to get a basic understanding. And 90% of the time it happens, not 100% to be fair, but say maybe 80% of people who are trying to trade, we're horribly honest with peanuts. They're undercapitalized. You know, they're trying to get into a car race with a second-hand bicycle, wonder why it's battling. And they're going in, normally, I wish they'd stop this 5 to 1, because people clearly don't understand leverage at all. By going into 500 to 1 account instead of 100 to 1 leveraged account, highly leveraged, very small margin deposits, and not understanding volumes, going in too big, and then they're going to get margin call. And the trader, I haven't checked his figures, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be the situation. It overwhelmingly is that. They haven't got enough capital, going in too big, and they don't, to be fair, they don't understand why. Well, they should, because they need to go to classes, and they're running out of free margin. You're going to get margin call. If you don't have free margin, your account, your position, trade, or whatever you want to call it, will be closed. You've got to, never mind your stop losses, you've got to have free margin. And remember, you've got to understand percentage proportion, what you're prepared to risk. And yeah. And the problem with that is you've got a little, let's say 500 or 600 rand. You can only go into one trade, 0.01, and that's it. You can't do any more because you don't have enough free margin. I had a guy yesterday asked 150 with 100 to 1 account, why he couldn't get in. He's trying to trade when he has clearly absolutely no idea of the vehicle he's trying to drive. That is not a good idea. You know, he's a very nice guy, don't get me wrong, he wouldn't have upset him like that. But I had to point out to him, he's undercapitalized. You can't trade with a couple hundred rand. You're wasting your time. Never mind with his time, to be honest. But you're wasting your time. You have to have funds, knowledge, hopefully a bit of common sense, and the internet and the correct equipment, like all businesses. I know some guy just trying it out, not sure or whatever. That's fine. That's fine. But don't think you're going to make money when you haven't got any capital. This is not something for nothing, please. Very important. You can do it there, but you should be able to work it out anyway by going to specifications. Okay, it should be taught in the other areas. I'll go through it again. I don't know what's taught there or not, or what's picked up or not. I think not enough people go into classes, or I don't know what they're doing. Anyway, you highlight it, left click on specification, and you get contract size there. You need to understand all that. Go to the classes, interact. You've got to know what leverage is, what the cost is per micro, cost per mini, cost per standard lot, what margins involved. The information is there. That is something you need to learn before you come to trade. The trading room is to assume you know that, learned that, understood that, where we start enhancing practical trading skills, not where we knows absolutely nothing. And then it's like going up to a law firm, say, think about law, and teach me and then employ me. No, I'll say, go to law school, and then we'll employ you if we think you're good enough. That's what it's for. You bought the course, company, well, use it. you'd be staggered how many people buy the course and then say it doesn't work for me because they don't even open page one and don't attend any of the classes and wonder where they come tripped up. What business, even I presume you got a job, you just walk in without having the slightest idea what the job is. Yeah, I'm going to apply for a job as a chemical engineer. No, what am I chemical engineer? Oh, nothing. I'll give you a job anyway. No. Common sense, please. And it's, you know, I'm talking about tirade, but it happens so often and you just shake your head. You know, this is not rocket science. Okay, so let's go back on site. We've got the Brent out. I've got a couple of ideas to look at. You might want to sit tight on them, I don't know, but a couple of ideas to look at. I don't know you guys think. Is the AUD CHF as a sound? Go to the daily, you know, I do my regular daily. The 100-day moving average seems to be holding on it. So I just let these people in. We've got GBP CHF out already at the moment, so we'll have a look at it just now. This is a new trade idea. Make sure, if you might love to trade, but if you haven't got enough margin, either leave it or obviously add funds. If you can't add funds or you don't want to add funds and you haven't got much free margin, then you can't do the trade. You can't go shopping and buy a product and have the money. Simple as that. I mean, how many times daily? Well, let me in, so I haven't got enough money. Before you do not be sarcastic. What the hell do you think it means? You haven't got enough money, but that's why I'm saying it. You know, if you haven't got the Tom, you can't buy the product. For goodness sake. Or I don't want to take a risk. We're in the wrong business. This is high risk. Tell you up front, high risk. If you want to take a risk, put your money in the bank. Well, it doesn't grow enough. Well, if you don't take a risk, you'll get a return, aren't you? That's how it works. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, it's a downtrend here. I'm back in the CHF, had a bit of a jump, I think, over the Credit Suisse situation, but I think that's all news anyway. I don't think it's going to be sustained, and I think there could be a possible downside. You might want to wait to see more confirmation, but I'll pull back, or you might like the look of it now, but depends what you think. Does anybody like the look of it? If you do, and I get a few of them, I'll write it down. I'll put a risk reward up for you guys on the calculator. Take it from there. But we'll do the Swiss pound Swiss in a minute. Look at this one just to start. Gerard likes it. Well, Stephen else likes it. Put it up anyway. See what he's got. Now, was that going to be too close, too far away? It's only 70 pips above these guys. A little bit too far. I'd like ideally to put it up here. That's about 130 pips, so it's too far. So that hopefully will be okay. And then we need a stop loss down here. Sorry, a TP down here, a target down there. 59.80. Sorry. Something here. There we are. 59.85. What the hell happened there? Better. How can I access it? Can't preview it. Ernest, so can you help me out, guys? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Can you help me out? Maybe I'm being a bit thick here. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Anyway, let's move on. There's the figures. Clearly, a 2 to 1's fine. Not a bad risk reward. 150 a micro. If you're still in it, maybe we'll stick with it. I assume some guys might not be in it anyway. Some guys are not in it, want to join it or whatever. But you might want more confirmation, you know. But, if you're in it, clearly you're in it. But if you're not in it, well, if you want to go for it, go for it. Remember, it's your decision. Always remember that. It's not my decision. It's not. It's your money, your responsibility, your decision. If you like the trade, you go for it. If you don't, well, don't go for it. But I'll take responsibility, trying to send the best I can out. But whether that goes up or down, it depends on the market, not on me. I don't know. I just take a view. And often I get frustrated because, you know, I mean, I think my views are good. and well, fine, will back me up, but then sometimes the reactions out there are quite challenging. And we discussed it finally before. I think a lot of it's emotion. I always say to guys, do you know what mood you're going to wake up in the morning tomorrow? Most of you know what I mean? It's just sometimes the emotional reactions can be quite strange and certainly irrational. That's unfortunately something you have to do.
Morning, Roger, everybody. No, it's absolutely true. But the Swissy went through an extreme bad patch the last 2 weeks. Apparently, yesterday, the whole Swiss bank was resolved and took over was finalized by UBS.
But that's been sort of done for a while. To me, I don't know if they're saying that, but that's a bit old news. This has been going since March. Remember that problem 2-3 months ago when the Credit Suisse went and they brought the Swiss franc right down. UBS, remember it's the biggest bank in the world, $2 trillion assets, stepped in. So, yeah, maybe this confirmed it. I don't know. Anyway, just seemed to be strange. I just think personally, a bit of delayed emotional reaction. Always remember, guys, when you do anything in life, you've got to undertake, this is number one, perception leads to fact. Facts don't always lead perception. And the fact is perception. If you perceive it, then it's fact. Whether it's irrational or emotion, and emotion leads to logic. I've mentioned this many, many times. It's got to be understood. We're emotional creatures first, and not always as rational as we'd like to think we are. And sometimes that can have funny effects on the mind and certainly on the markets. But that's the rational reason. But I'll just give an example. About a month ago, when the hawkish stance, everything pointed to a surge upside in the euro. And then what happened? That's before the Germans had gone into the depression or whatever. Depression. They're all depressed, yeah. Recession, beg your pardon. But yeah, and sometimes you have some strange effects. Just remember the retail market, which is you and me, has grown astronomically over the last 2 or 3 years. And often these guys, quite frankly, are fairly amateurish, not always knowledgeable, and usually trading on the strategy of emotion. And that's why, because collectively, the sheer amount of them can push the markets in some funny areas. But just bear that in mind. Emotion is got to be understood and can have some strange effects. We're all like that, so can't blame yourself. It's the way it is. Okay, yeah. So if you think the 100 days is going to hold, you can take the trade. If you want more confirmation, hold it. But they're the figures. I would totally agree with that, Karen. I think I'm sticking my mind. I think the Swiss franc might get the odd. You all do get the odd blip. I mean, even the best sports in the world, you know, that's a bad day. But I still think I'd back the Swiss over the Aussie, absolutely. Right, anyway, before we move on, there's a few others who want to look at stuff. Anybody want to do this trade? If no one wants to do it, we're already down. If anyone likes it, clearly the ones in it ignore. But the one who's not in it, who like it, basically tell me. And we'll take it from there. Okay, well, Didi likes it. Gerard likes it. Anybody else like it? You're an LI, that's fair enough. Okay, there's a few guys like it. So I think I'm going to post it onto the company WhatsApp and they might send it out. Just give me a second. It's a sell 0.6133, 0.629, 0.5985. Was it 160, right? Just remember, look at that figure, please, guys. Look at that figure, 160. Know your percentages. If you've got 1,000 Rand your account and you go to that one, you're risking 16% of your capital. You're overexposed. I'm suggesting, unless you've got 2 grand upwards, don't touch the trade. You've got to understand that. Okay. I'm just going to say that anyway, please. You've got to do the basic arithmetic. For your sake. I'm being like a stern bloody headmaster here, but it's for your sake. Breaks my heart when things go wrong, which don't need to go wrong. Tough enough when the emotions come in on the variable market. Second, just got to copy and paste that. Where are we at? Okay, so you've got that now. Good. Good. I like that. Good to have you here, Mark. Yeah, Mark and myself suffer badly from what I call commentator's curse, Murphy's law. Hey, that's an absolute cracker, that one. Buy it, buy it, buy it. Strong suggestion you go and sell it. Okay, let's got some trade ideas coming up here. Let's have a check of them. Before I do, I just want to do one of mine quickly. Euro CHF. We had a profit on. I think most people are out of that trade now and either take profit or stopped out in the profit or whatever. And I think it's had a bit of a rally. I think this is another chance and maybe some downside. It's in the sell zone. The other one, to be fair, was in the neutral zone. What do you think? Another attempt at this one. I think it's got a good possibility, this one, before we look at the other guys' trade suggestions. Put a stop. We're going to put the stop. Can I put it up here? Yes, I can. Put it up there. It's fine. Now, can I get a? I have to use the weekly to get a TP. Just could be the problem. Yeah, we might squeeze it there. I want to make a plan. 96.24. Yeah. Because I was short this one. Can't use nonsense this thing yet. Just give me a second. Can't even yet. All right, go back to the daily. It's fine. Weekly. Put it 96.50. What the hell's happening? Maybe it's telling me something. Just adjust that, trying to get a number in here before we get stuffed up. That's fine. We put this up a little bit tighter. Yeah, that should do it. Okay, again, 140 Rand. Look at that per micro. So you can't do this one less than 1,500 Rand. That's the problem being underfunded. Most of the trade ideas you just cannot do because you risk is too high a percentage of your balance. That's why I try to implore people to get yourself funded. If you do it properly, you've got to have the capital. It's the way it is. I understand, Karen. It's good to have you back anyway. But that's it. Thank you. Just read it. Very good points come up. We mentioned this before in the trade room. Try not to get overexposed in one currency. Let's say you're doing the dollar Swiss franc, the GBP Swiss franc, the euro Swiss franc, I don't know, the Aussie Swiss franc. You're overexposed in the Swiss franc. Even though all four might look good trades, just beware of that. I've done 3 before, but I'm just saying, rule of thumb, no more than maybe 2 per currency. So if you're in the Euro CHF and the GBP CHF, and another one comes up with, let's say, NZD CHF, it might be an idea to leave it or pick 2 out of the 3. You're quite right. Thanks for mentioning that, Gerard. Don't forget, do not get overexposed in one currency. We work out on per trade, your percentage of your balance to take is the maximum risk, equity management, that's why the risk calculator. And then, yeah, you can go into maybe $2 trades or 2 Swiss or 2 Canadian, whatever. I think it might be not to go into 3. Because remember, let's say you're risking 10 units on 1, 10 on 2, you got 30 units risk now, because remember it's per trade I'm talking about, is that's the risk per trade. Now you're highly exposed. Something goes wrong with that Swiss franc, and you got 3 trades or 4 trades in it, it could end up as doing some damage. So remember, don't overexpose in one, get your position size, work out your correct equity management, and yeah, that's about it. Yeah. Oh yes, and make sure you've got enough free margin. These are musts. Okay. You guys learning stuff there already in the trading room the first half an hour or so, because these are vital areas which, after all studying, people make mistakes on because they weren't made aware of it. Well, I'm making you aware of it now. Okay. But thanks for the point there, Gerard. You, Fani, and the others, very, very cool contribution. Thank you for it. Right, I'm just going to go and look now, in case I missed anything. Protect your capital. We looked at that absolutely. Morning, everyone. Yeah, the link is quite simple. I meant before a live chat. Go to live chat and then go to technical support and get it done. You must have the calculator, unless you can do it in your head, which most people aren't quite sure will be able to do yet. GBP CHF. Oh yeah, before we do that, anyone want to take this trade? Okay, just write these GBP CHF, a few of them here. GBP CHF you want to look at. Write these down as you tell me what you want to do with this. GBP NZD. Okay, we've done that, that's fine. Yeah, Mark quite likes it. Anybody else want to do it? Like it's one thing, and demo we don't count. Please, don't do demos, waste your time. We're talking about live here. Anyone going to be doing the trade? Anyone like it? If they do, I'll send it out. Yeah, you do, Mark, you do. That's it before. If you go into the trade, if it's above 100%, you might be okay. But just make sure of that. 150 should be okay. If you got, let's say, your margin level is 100% before you enter the trade, don't even think of touching it. If you don't know all that, you need to interact in the classes. These are the basics when you come to the trading room. And the good thing, if you didn't know that and you're learning here, at least you now know the questions to ask. A lot of guys don't ask the question because they didn't know the question to ask in the first place. So that's one good thing we try to bring out here. So, I didn't know that. Keep a pen and paper handy. Jot them down. So, I'm going to go back to the class and interact on this. Because that class, that's what you're paying for, where they can develop that. Okay, so once you've got that under your belt, you know what the hell we're talking about here. Okay, we've got Mark on board. Anne-Marie's going to ally here. Anybody else want to do this one? He wants... just one moment. Okay. We're going to leave this one, okay? So at least one person wants to do it. Okay, well, leave it. I need to go back to the other one, which is ADCHF, because they like to send it out. So I'm going to skip the levels here. Not the levels. Okay, where is it now? Sorry, Chris. Yeah, that's sorry, trading room jargon. Nowhere else. It's TR jargon, like cluck cluck, which means I'm chickening out of the trade. Short it. What are we gonna do here? 6209. And the other one is 5. Right, what's it? 170. Just write this down. Give me a moment, guys. 170 and 290. 340 and 510 and 680. Just doing it quickly. I'm going to put the levels on. 290. That's 580. That'll be 870, and a further 300 would be 1160. Okay, got it. Okay. Bear with me a second, guys. Just write this out for the trade. Right, that's sent out. Good. Okay. Whoa. You're a CHF. We can leave it. Okay, fine. We looked at a couple of guys. Want to look at GBP CHF. We're already in that trade. Give us some jip, actually, to be honest. We're short on that one. Definitely giving some jip. Knock this off because it's not a new trade. Some guys would like it and not in it, might want to join it. Get out of the way. Might want to join it. Seems to be popping up again. I don't know, but it's definitely giving some jip. Why does this keep coming up? It's definitely giving some jip, as you can see, but I think it's a bit indecisive about height. Bit indecisive yesterday. If you haven't got much free margin, a bit nervous about it, well, leave it. If you're in, well, stick with it. You should still be in it. Hasn't it stop loss yet? Maybe get some downside. I think, in fact, you should definitely consider going. It was at 1.1351, I think, was the entry level. Just check it from yesterday. Yesterday? Yes, it was. 1351. It's only 14 pips above. So if you're in it, holds. Remember, everyone wants the trade to go in their direction immediately on entry. Not that way. You're always getting the up and down noise. You have your strategy, you got your position, size calculator, volumes correct. Let the trade run. Don't stare all the time. You're going to be ups and downs, millions of people buying, selling in and out the market as we speak. So that's going to be the noise. So yeah, you're mentioning that means you aren't in, want to go in. Well, if you like the trade, which I do, you're getting a better price. So yeah, if you're in it, hold it. And that's my opinion on that one. So if you do like the trade, you can go back and look at the stop loss TP and then put your calculator up and work out your risk reward and take the trade on that basis. And you're getting a slightly better price. What a pleasure. If you don't, clearly don't do it. Okay, simple as that. Well, I think it's simple, maybe we're doing it every day, but I think that's fairly straightforward, guys. So there you are. The figures are all there on your MT5 mailbox. Use the same SL and TP. Put in the calculator. If you're not in, and you want to enter it with this figure here, work out your risk per 0.01 accordingly and take it from there. Okay. Hope all good. Yeah, sorry, Pietro. Hope you're still with us. I haven't left us or like that. But anyway, you did mention GBP NZD. Sorry about the delay. Let's have a look. You want to sell it? We're on the daily. Let's go and zoom in a bit. Right. Where are we now? I'm not sure. Be honest, Pietro, I'm not sure on this one. I'll tell you why. I'm not that fond of the pound, and not that any more fond, to be honest, than the New Zealand dollar. I don't think either of them are particularly great at the moment. I personally think, I tend to agree with you. I think the pound's a bit overcooked at the moment, a little bit overvalued. But does that mean in the buy zone, at that support area, I'm going to preempt a break further down? I'm not sure about that. Conversely, what about a buy? Well, that could probably, on a technical basis, is probably a better case for a buy. Yeah, sorry, Mund, if you got to go, you got to. Thanks very much for joining and contributing as always. And good luck with the trading and the rest of the day. Thanks, mate. Hope to see you tomorrow. Or 2 o'clock, don't forget, CPI, 2 o'clock. Hope to see you then. Yeah, so there's probably a better case made for a buy, but I'm going to leave this alone. Okay. Well, it could be like all sorts of stuff out there. But technically speaking, it looks like it might a range trade bounce. I'm just a bit nervous this pound at the moment, and I'm not that exactly gleefully excited about the Kiwi dollar. Sorry, Kiwis out there. I think your rugby team's still pretty good, but it's not number one, eh? I see Ireland's number one. Couldn't believe that 10 years ago. But joking and waffling apart, probably more of a case of maybe a buyer range, but even that I'm not keen on because it tried to move up today. Remember, it's only 10 hours old today, and the sales immediately came in. That's a lower high. I think there might be a possibility of a confirmed breakdown, but either way, I don't think there's enough there to give me confidence fundamentally or indeed technically to put money on the table. Okay. I wouldn't even waste my demo money on it. I think I'll give that a miss. Okay, Petra, that's my opinion. If you disagree, guys, buy or sell it. That is up to you. This is my opinion. And I tell you right now, Fahani, have I been wrong before? In fact, my last couple of trades put out in the QT haven't gone too well. So, yeah, sorry, very sorry, but that's the market. GBP, JPY. You want to buy this? I'm not sure either. Sorry, I personally think that Japanese yen is getting to a bit weak territory. I think that Japanese yen starts spending up. I've been saying that for a week. Not much has been acted, to be fair, but I'm very loath to buy at these levels. Look at that line upwards. Look at that momentum upwards. That's a bloody absolutely, technically speaking, it's a strong upward trend. I'm not sure it's getting near exhaustion. Look at yesterday, trying to break up, sellers came in, popped up again, and then even a couple of sellers are coming in, see from the wick at the moment. I ain't confident buying it here, but I'm prepared to sell. If it breaks below the 10-day, that's the magenta line there, moving average, I might look at it again, but I want some a little bit more confirmation. I think it probably have to break down here before I get more confident. Start break below there, 172.50 area, I might look at it. That's a long way away. I'm nervous of that one. So I'll mention Chris just now about trading room jargon. This is another one. Listen to it carefully. Cluck, cluck. Sorry about that, but I'm a cluck, cluck on that. Yeah, after BOJ, Bank of Japan's going to do some chit chat there. There might even be some government intervention. I think they don't want a totally strong yen, but it buggers up the exports. But they don't want a totally weak yen because then they can't afford the fuel price. Yeah, you got to learn the jargon, Chris. You can't be a trader if you don't know the trading language. Cluck, cluck, LIA. You get the idea. Well, it's very, very important. Incredibly important.
Incoming mail.
Okay, excuse me. Okay, all right, just go back. Crabbing, yeah, a lot of crabbing going on. Remember the CPI coming out, so it's going to be, here's another one there, Chris, to add to your lexicon, crabbing. Yeah, crabbing means sideways, not happening, indecision, crabbing along. Sideways, you know, crabs move sideways when they walk, yeah, crabbing along. It's the unofficial jargon of the club who bring to the trade on a regular basis. And it's a psychological area of clubs. We know, you don't, so you're excluded, we're important. So if you don't know this jargon, you're always going to be out. We can't have that. Only kidding. Only kidding. 70 pip jump on what? Sorry, I'm too busy talking nonsense. Sorry, Mark. 70 pip what? 70 pip jump on what? Oh, GBP. Oh, see what you mean. Okay. Oh, see what you mean. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. True. Might be a profit taking. Profit taking or not? I'm not keen on that one. That's me personally. Anybody disagree with me? Anybody think this is the trade of the century? I want to buy or sell or whatever. Well, I'd have a good reason why if you do come up with that. Well, I agree with you, Anna. I mean, it's a seriously crabby one, this one. Okay, we'll move on. This one, last one.
Hi, Mark. Sorry, there was a fundi out 8 o'clock on GBP with regards to the employment change. It was much better than what they anticipated. That's where the jump came from.
Thank you. Good point there. I mean, too busy running around doing this stuff. Got to keep an eye on that calendar. Quite agree. Let's get started. Just a second.
Although it's 2 stars, Raj.
Okay. Thanks for that. I'll check it anyway because it's lost the money then. Just bugger it. What have I done now? Just give me a second. All this crap's in the way. That's better. Bookmark. There we are. You know why I lost that suddenly. Always have it up here. It must have disappeared somewhere. I've got it back up and running now. Just give me a second. Just get this stuff out of the way. See if the trees on the other screen here. Okay, all right. I'm going to put the week up for you so you can all look through it. I'm just going to copy and paste and have a look at it. Okay, there we are. If you don't have an economic calendar, a lot of you guys in here today, please save it to your laptop, minimize it, put your bookmarks, whatever you do, keep an eye on it. Yeah, right. Where were we now? Monday now. Sorry, scroll down. Tuesday. Yeah, it's a 2-star unemployment rate. Employment change. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's gone up 250 compared to 150. Employment rates down slightly. That might have been a bit of an effect. German CPI was about the same. In fact, wasn't about, it's exactly the same. Not very much happening there. Okay, thanks for the reminder. Sorry about that. Okay, I'm just going to put the dollar index on as well because, as I say, that often. Well, sorry, waffling. I'm trying to do 2 things at once. So give me a moment. Last one yet. Just going to put in this one as well for you. Didn't take long. Takes a long time. There's so much clutter on getting in the way on the other side. Can't see what's going on. Okay, yeah, sorry. Another one I want to put is my name and what's the contact number? Roger Trading Support. WhatsApp 061-529-3431. There you are, guys. This is for me to assist those who obviously require. Let's get this out of the way now. Well, assistance, yeah. Now, but please, not on demos and only funded accounts. Now, 100 Rand is not a funded account. Funded accounts where you've got enough capital to trade the markets. Don't ask me how much that is. I'll say 1 million. Well, I've got 1 million. You know what you've got, but use some common sense. Don't think you can trade the international $1 trillion market with the price of a hamburger. If you do that, well, what can I say? Yeah, but I'm there to assist if you want it. If you've got more than £2,500 in your account or $150, you want to go to my QT WhatsApp group for daily updates, etc.
Has it moved in our favor or against us? And what can we do? Then
So I'm just sorry, I just had to, there's a bit of a background noise there. Where was I? Yeah, okay, so you get $150 or £2,500 or more. You want to be a member of my VIP group or QT group, WhatsApp group for extra trading signals, extra whatever, daily economic updates, other bits of interest. Let me know. You got my WhatsApp number. You got my WhatsApp number, and just let me know. I'll check it out and I'll upload you. Please, again, common sense. Don't say this is me from the trading room. Who's me from the trading room? And they put down John. Well, who's John? So you need to put down, this is John Smith, real account numbers 200167. I've got the required funds. Please upload me or whatever. Check it out and I'll upload you and send my details. And we can take it from there. Okay, great. Hope you've all got that. Well, made some Tom. I'm not saying how much. I'm not broke, I can say that. But I'm extremely tight. I'll give an example. They asked me what I was going to do for the millions I won on the lotto. But no, sorry. They asked me what I was going to do about begging letters when they found out I'd won millions on the lotto. And my reply to them was, I was going to continue sending them. No problem, Farley. Thought I recognized the voice, no problem. Hope you like little ditty there. Yeah, okay, so we'll leave that alone. Brent, is it still doing okay? Slow, but it's doing okay. CHF. Yes, sorry, GBP CHF. It's trying to come off a bit slowly, but it's hovering. I think you find most of the market's going to hover a little bit because it's only 4 hours, in fact, yeah, only 4 hours time before we got the CPI release. So I think even the non-dollar share and NASDAQ markets are going to be a bit sideways. You like that one, Zuzu? Yeah. Bit of an oldie, but I like it. Okay, right. So yeah, we've gone through the bits and pieces there. Let's have a look. Okay, yeah, CPI. Oh, by the way, before I do that, just one, it takes 2 seconds. Try and do it every time. Right click on your screen, go to templates, and please save your template. Okay, those who don't know this, now they do. Put your name in there and press save button. And then when you lose the charts for whatever reason, a fat finger, I know something happens, just right click, go to templates, and then you can click on the chart you save as many as you like, it's up and running. If you're not sure about the properties on the specific instrument, left click, right click, left click, left, right, left. And there the information comes out. There you are. You need to know information. You need to know what margin is. You need to know what leverage is. You need to know the pros and cons of leverage and what it all means. If you don't understand all that, find out, because these are important factors. We can control those, but we can't control the variables, the market movements. That's completely outside our control. But we can control that basic knowledge, and it's not that long. You know, don't pour through books of details if you don't know the leverages or margins and the implications thereof. Now you know how to get that. It's what your exposure is, the contract size, etc. There's different leverages out there. You might qualify for 101, but each one is a slightly different margin. To get the leverage, divide the margin to 100. Take notes, get more professional at it, and you should find you'll get the results down the line. Okay. CPI throughout all your other trades. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, to be honest. How do you mean it's throughout all my other trades? Somebody else, I'm not quite sure. Some I don't get the right in the stick. Maybe we're a bit stupid, often do that. Well, I just need some clarity what you mean by that. Throughout all my other trades. I let the stop loss do that for me. Oh. So I'll unmute you guys. If you want to make it a bit clearer, you can always chat to me. There, you're all unmuted. Okay,
How's
Chris,
it,
go.
Roger?
How's it?
So I was just asking if you've got a bunch of other trades running, some sells, some buys, and the CPI news comes out, and either it goes up or down, does that then wipe out your free margin for all your other
Well,
long
no, I won't say to jump out of it. If you're in a profit, it might be an idea to modify the stop. If it's too close to put your stop at break even, at least reduce the risk. You can do all that. It'll all be affected to a certain extent, but clearly it's in the United States, the dollar will be affected more. And then because it's the indices like the NAS and the Dow, or any shares will be affected by it. But the pound or the yen could be affected to a certain extent, depending. Don't even think what my opinion is or how, where, or what, because even my opinion is correct. It's going to be slightly less than expected. The resultant movements occurring are completely thumb-sucking a lot of the time because a lot of it's emotion. I mean, I've given a good example of non-farm payrolls. There's a massive difference between the expected and the the actual. Hey, and Zuzi, remember that on the gold, and it's very slow to react. And then it did react, but it took quite a bit longer before it suddenly woke up and reacted. And then in the previous month, it got a bigger immediate reaction on a smaller differential. So it's not just guessing what the result is. The impossible guess is the market reaction through the emotional aspect to that information. So don't try and preempt it. Whatever you hear on Bloomberg or from me or whatever, the market react to their emotional levels. This is just the way it is. So I would not be jumping out of it just because you're in them. No, I'm not close. I'm in a couple of trades. I'm not doing too well, I might add. Answer us all, but I'm sticking with it. Got the strategy. And if you're in a nice profit, well, especially if it's in the dollar in a nice profit, get it down to break even or something to make sure you're protected. But yeah, no, I wouldn't be jumping out of one. I'd just be a bit hesitant. I'm extremely hesitant of joining in a dollar trade or a NASDAQ trade or a gold trade. Or we can't do share trades, closed at the moment, before that major release. And it is a very big one because it's going to give some indication to Chairman of the Fed, Jerome Powell, the US Fed that is, on tomorrow's interest rate decision on the FOMC meeting, whether he will not or will increase again the interest rates and more to the point where they might start saying we might be bringing down. Will it be this year or next? You get the idea. And that's prime information he's going to need before doing that. Before I finish, Chris, by the way, have you funded your account?
Yes.
You have. All right. So if you have, I don't know what you put in it, but it's over $2.5 grand. WhatsApp me. You got my details there. And
Yes.
I'll upload to my QT group. You can do that privately. WhatsApp me and I'll do it after 11 o'clock. Okay. Just WhatsApp me.
Thanks.
Okay.
Sorry, last question. What are you banking on for CPI gold?
Yeah. Now, I mentioned that yesterday to the guy. Yesterday, what's this? Afternoon. Sorry. Yesterday morning. Do you want to stick with the gold, or do you want me to do it on the euro dollar, US dollar, yen, or the pound dollar, whatever? And the majority seem to say we'll stick with gold. So I'll do it on the gold.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
So stick with the gold. If you're happy with that, join me. If you personally done a few before and you prefer the NASDAQ or the GBP, BBC, that is your choice. You do what you like. I'm just saying I'm going to use the gold again. Yeah.
Thanks, Roger.
Okay. Thanks for unmuting. See, I can be done. What's so difficult, was it? And it's not quicker and easier to interact verbally. Good. Okay, guys. Any questions? Don't forget, CPI is on the Trading Room ID Zoom for funded accounts, preferably 2 or more, not demos, because we can only have a limited seating, and we don't want to hold up people who want to do it seriously and can't get in because somebody haven't got the time to do it. Having said that, if you only want to reserve a seat, be there at 2. If you know the mechanics, you might come a bit later. If you don't know the mechanics of the trade, be there at 2, because otherwise you won't have time to learn how to place it. Because by the time 20 past comes, or just after 20 past, you've got to start placing the trade, and we're waiting for the release of the data. I haven't got time to explain it again. So you arrive at about about 25 or 25 past 2, in the session at 2:25, you know, and then say, please explain to me. I won't have time and you're going to miss it. Okay. The only reason I said that Brent instead of WTI, because the stop in the correct place was tighter on Brent than WTI. If it'd been the other way around, it would have been the WTI trade. But I don't see why I should go into both. Oil's oil, you know, so why go into both? It's like going into, I don't know, the gold and the AUD, XAU, USD. Gold's gold, you know what I mean? Oil's oil. That's the only reason I went for Brent. It's because the correct stop loss place was slightly tighter than WTI. So why have more risk when you have less risk? Makes no sense. Okay. But if you're in long, if you're in short, well, good luck. Well, you're in buy. Okay. Well, hold on. If you're in WTI, go for it. See you later, Michael. Good stuff. Any questions on our trades? Anything I've missed? Anything you want to discuss? You can have a quick look at the AUD CHF, beg your pardon. What was it in that? 32. God, that's really flying, isn't it? Makes a snail seem like a Ferrari. Oh, well, this is not going wrong. Matt's hovering. I think a lot of stuff's going to hover. As it gets closer, it's going to hover. So after 2 o'clock, you probably find the price move's going to be very quiet. In fact, probably quiet from now on. You've got to be aware. Hope you've all downloaded, not downloaded, sort of copied what I've pasted on there about the economic calendar. These are major ones. Farm perils once a month, CPI once a month in the US, very important. PPIs are important. The others are important, but those are very important. And remember, when you have what's called a Federal Open Market Committee meeting, that's FOMC meeting, it's supposed to be about 8 a year, but it can actually add to it. That's when we'll be talking as the chairman of the Fed, and you want to be out the market or certainly protected if you're in already. That's an exit because it can jump around a bit on what he says. Now, we won't be doing PPI. We're only doing those two. PPI's got its importance, but it's not as big as the CPI for the way going forward. I think, to be honest, Peter, I think the reason behind that is because it comes out first. If the PPI came out first, that might take on a slightly higher. But the PPI tends to follow the CPI because they're both about inflation, you know what I mean? So some guys do it. They do a quick one, have a go at it if you want privately. No, I'm doing it all. But there aren't any, Osborne. We're only doing the morning now. Came down from the CEO, says he wants me doing other stuff in the afternoon. I'm going to be honest, Osborne, there weren't enough people coming on with large enough accounts to justify, quite frankly, my time. Because I'm getting paid for this. And if you've got guys in there, about 20 coming in with tiny amounts, the brokers you make out don't pay me salary. It's simple, horrible economics like that. So we're doing the morning. And I think I like the morning, not just because it helps you guys, but we get trade ideas out, which goes out to everybody, and it makes it financially worthwhile for all concerned. Okay, so only the morning ones. Okay, just so you know. That's what I want people to interact to get the idea. I try to be honest, sometimes too honest for own good, but I am on your side to try and help, because without you guys, we don't, it doesn't work, does it? Clearly. So when I get it wrong and the market moves a different way to the signal, nothing I can do about it. You can send me a WhatsApp screenshot if you like, but I can't do anything about it. And I certainly guarantee I didn't do it on purpose. That's the best I could come up with, and it's sometimes right, and some that it turns out fine, and then turns around and goes the opposite way. So I say I push this modifying, protecting, because market movements, there's an enormous amount of variables totally outside of control when you've got literally millions of people trading. Always bear that in mind. Buyers and sellers are getting in and getting out of the market all the time, hence you get the noise. And it's all psychological, especially I was exactly the same. You want to go in your direction, a linear way. You want to go down from Joburg to Durban, a straight line, bang, bang, bang. Doesn't work that because people are jumping in and out all the time. Okay, just got to understand. Have your strategy, get your volumes right. Don't stare it all the time. Check it now again. And in case you need to modify the stop loss, don't get your stop too close. It's tempting. And then unfortunately get stopped out. All right, you make a couple of bucks, but then it goes on and you're not on board when it goes on. And they say, shall I get in again? But then your risk rewards all up the maggots. You got out too quick. Remember, it's psychologically, it's a habit of people taking the profit too quick and holding the losses too long. It sounds strange that, but that's what everybody does in the start. It's the fear zone, hoping the lose will come right and fright the good one will go wrong. So they grab their profit quick in case it gets taken away from them and hold on the loss in case it comes right. That is the way to getting yourself the financial dwang, the poorhouse or whatever. No, ride those profits, modify, etc. Give the trade a chance. You've got your strategy, stick with it. I'm sorry going about it all the time because this is what happens. Emotionals, wrong volumes, grabbing profits too quick. Those we can control. You've got to control your head. Variables of market we can't, those we can, and that down the line will make you a better trade. Anne-Marie, thanks. Well, not a choice of matter, but that's the way it is. Nice to know you're supporting it. Okay, so yeah, feedback is what I'm for, as long as you interact. But I know a lot of guys don't, or they get nervous, or are not sure, they're frightened to ask, and then they continue on the wrong road, which we don't want that to happen. No. We're nice, caring people. I might be a loudmouth pomp, guys, but I'm a caring person. I'm very sensitive. Okay, right. Yeah, so there it is. Yeah, if you haven't got the Brent trade, I think still can chase it. Param's all right. If you stop loss TP, risk reward should still be fine. ADCHF, if you want it, it's still okay to take it. And yeah, I think just sit on your hands after that. Make sure you got enough free margin, like I mentioned. These things, have a piece of paper, take note of them all, write them down. These things we can control. And as I say, it's only got 4 hours to the release of the figures. I think be a little bit more circumspect about jumping anything, especially the dollar. Thank you, Anne-Marie. Yeah. But I'm sure you know what I mean there, Anne-Marie and Company. It was to say, guys, don't come to trading, etc. They go completely on a signal. And I wonder, question why they buy a course. If you're not doing a signal one, it's just for free anyway. Why do they use them? Why buy a course? And then they understand. They think I'm sending stuff out just to trick them. Why would I do that? What percentage of me to get their wrath thrown at me from dizzy-eyed? And number two, overwhelmingly, they're tripping up because of not just lack of knowledge, they're underfunded. They're trying to trade the $1 million, $1 trillion market with not enough capital. You know, it's trying to enter into Formula One when you don't have enough budget to be competitive. Your car can't be competitive. You know. It's a natural fear thing. It's quite natural. It's natural. I want to make a lot, but I don't want to risk much. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. If you can't afford to risk it, don't trade. And always trade with money you can afford to risk, not your rent money. Your wife's allowance, that's allowed. You can always trade with your wife's allowance, but not your rent money, and definitely not your beer mini or your single malt money. Never trade with that, but yeah. Only kidding, Chantel and Company. Only kidding. Yeah. Hey, Farley, that's a strict order from on high. Do not ever trade with your single malt money, or if you like your beer money, or the tickets for the rugby money. And some, you do need it. You bloody well do need it, yeah. As I say, as I said before, I'll say it again. When you're trading, look for trades. Trading is not staring at your open positions, hoping for the best. That's a quick way to the loony bin. You see, I don't have mine up. I know they're in the red at the moment. They might be doing a bit better. I hope so. I'm not staring at the bloody thing. Okay. Because that's a quick way to say to really stuff your mind head in. Really is. You can't do anything about the market. It's absolutely out of your control. You got your strategy in, staring it and willing it to go in your fashion, doing your life, but it won't happen. It'll do what it wants to do. Remember, you're a nice guy who wants to buy it. There's also another nice guy there who wants to sell it. So why should the deity move in your favor and not his or hers? You get the idea. The market will do what the market does. And try and get a handle on those emotions. One of the best ways to handle emotions is not stare at the bloody thing. Cup of coffee does it for you? Yeah. Well, hang on, just be careful of that. From what I've heard, I don't drink that much coffee. If you drink a lot of coffee, you get so many hyper.
Except if you damp it in the winter with whiskey. A tot or a shot in a black cup of coffee can be nice.
Ah, now they're talking. Yeah. Now we're talking. Yeah, after the action.
Sorry, I hope that's what Anna-Marie.
Anna-Marie, you're out for trouble there. Funny, you're getting the point. Careful what you say there.
Yeah, Anna-Marie,
it's the
I
family
see you
show,
strong in the coffee, eh?
Hey, Funny, if it wasn't a family show, we'd be teasing you on that one.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, the straddle trade. I'm assuming, sorry, I'm going to find in Anna-Marie, Brian, a couple of them. I'm going to bore you a little bit here. But there's going to be some guys there who are fairly new. Just so to come to trade room, maybe I'll just quickly explain what we mean. So at least they've got some understanding when they come in, if they're joining us there. Okay, I'll put up gold. What it is, I go to the 15 minutes. Okay. What it basically is, we're going to put an order above and an order below. We don't know if it's going to go up or down. We don't know. So if it goes up, it'll take the up order. If it goes down, it'll take the down order. So I just want to make sure you understand. I'm going to use $2, but close to the time of the data release upwards to, I might reduce it. Well, I will reduce to $1. But if you understand that, great. If not, leave the $2. Right. So what I do is I double click. All right. And then I go from market execution to pending order. Then I put in a buy stop, and I don't put I put in the volumes. If you're going to do $2 above the market, it is 40 Rand. Ignore my volume, don't worry about it. 40 Rand a micro. If you're doing $1 above below, make it 20 Rand a micro as your risk. You must have enough free margin as well. Per micro. Right, you put your volume in and then you put the price. You put not $2 above that one, $2 above this one. So I'm going to put in 1964. Sorry, 1966, beg your pardon. 66, and I'm going to place the trade. Can't see it, so I'm just going to right click, see that? Go to trade levels, and it should be there. Why in it? Okay, can't see it as well. There it is. Okay. Then I'm going to go back to my gold, double click on it, market execution, pending order, go to sell stop, and I'm going to put $2 below the sell price. That's going to be 1961. Don't forget to put your volumes. I've told you how to work that out. It's if you're doing a $1 above or below, it's 20 Rand micro. If you're doing $2, 40 Rand a micro. Work out your volumes accordingly. Everyone's got different monies in there, different risk profiles. It's your job to work out your volume. And that's above and below. You now don't place it now, for God's sake. This is an example showing how to do it. Then you normally place it about 5, 6, 7 minutes before the release, so you got the trade in. You don't want to place it too late in case you get half the trade in the data release. And you don't want to place it too early in case the buy or the sell order gets filled. You don't want either one of them to be taken in before the release, and you, at the same time, give you enough time to place the order. And then let's pretend it's coming up to 2:30 this afternoon. We wait. If it jumps up and hits your buy order, goes up, you go immediately and delete the sell. If it comes shooting down, you immediately delete the buy order, and then you can put your stop loss in and whatever and ride it down. Are we all clear? I don't know. I've been doing this so long now. A lot of textbooks, a lot of theory. There might be. I don't know. I'm sticking with mine, which I'm doing for a while now, is understand the psychology of the human being in the markets, price action, highs and lows. I think if you do that, you can do, but then you get into individual areas, or having a particular favorite moving averages or Bollinger Bands crossing or MACDs and whatever. And then you get, browsed by analysis, because everyone's got their own. And, when you believe in that particular area, it's very difficult to shift you. I would turn you from a Buddhist into a Muslim in a couple of hours reading a book or chit chat. Some people do. Cat Stevens became a Muslim by reading the Quran or whatever. But what I'm saying is, stopping and changing, keep it simple, stupid. But if you can find stuff out there, great. But I can't say I can really recommend one though. Anyway, going back, got to watch this. Don't let the damn thing get filled. I'll chat to you or miss it. Just shout down there, hang on, Roger. Your buy or sell is going to get filled, all that. So I'll just move it out of the way. But yeah, what I'll be doing, if you know how to do it, and I've got it up there, as it gets close to the release day, I'm putting in $2 just to show you guys. So I can chat, but I have to watch the value. We don't get filled. As it gets closer, I'll probably move it down and move it up closer, just so I've got it slightly closer. Okay. But I'll be doing that later. I'm just getting these things out of the way. But I don't want to get in filled on chit chatting. Okay. Hope you all got the idea. Anybody? Fibonacci is important. Yeah, that's very important. Fibonacci, GANs, and other stuff you can look at. Fans is another one. I don't bother any of them. Never bothered. I know, well, Ashley used to like the fans, but I never bothered. I only do the retracement and occasionally, very occasionally, extension if I can't find a target. But you need to know Fibonacci, obviously support resistance. You need to understand the economic calendar, candles, because particularly the movement for confirmation of candle. A lot of these fancy names, you can like it if you have them, okay? But the major factor is to understand the candles tell what the buyers and sellers are doing. And if you like a trend line as well, they've got their uses, but just remember they're often put in different places, so be careful. But yeah, don't get priced by analysis. And once you've got some that works for you, whether 21-day exponential crosses 11-day simple or vice versa rather, and it works, you do it. Or you find the MACD work, whatever. Bollinger Bands, different algorithms going into those MACDs. If it works for you, you play it around, do it a couple of years, you're happy with it. If it works, clearly don't break what's not broken. Sorry, don't fix what's not broken. I'm gonna stick with this. I'm just kick this one. Candlestick Bible. I use the candlestick purely. I've some of the names of Keep Up or whatever. I'm just seeing what the hell the buyers and sellers are doing. That's what it's about. What the buyers and sellers are doing. Trust me, whether you agree with them or not, more buyers buy something, it's going to push the price up. You might think that area is a crappy area. If buyers start buying that area, it's going to push the price up. You might think this is the best area on the planet. If sellers come in, it's going to push the price down. Whatever. And the psychology is absolutely vital. Absolutely vital. Anyone been in sales will understand. They've got a head start. If you've been in sales, you get a head start. If you own your own business, you should have a head start. You understand the business side of it, and you'll stand, as you're dealing with clients, the psychology of the human thinking. That is absolutely vital. Rather read a book on basic psychology. Don't get a degree in it, but basic psychology. Understand the fear and greed factors. That drives us all. Okay, Anna-Marie, see you at 2. This I shall mention just about most trading rooms, because if you don't understand the psychology, you're going to get very frustrated. You're still going to get frustrated, but at least you understand why, to a certain extent. Yeah, but it's Japanese. Candlesticks are Japanese for cunning rice or something, and I forget that. Anyway, there you are. Sort of look at it, but you get them free off the internet and yeah, the internet, yeah, and the app store. Different candles. Basics under it is just understand. Simple as this. What are the buyers and sellers doing? At the moment, there's more buyers coming in. Then this is only a 15-minute chart, and it's very short term. Well, I'd rather look at a daily on that basis. Just give me a second. I'll just get rid of these, by the way. Just delete them. You got the idea now. Or you can delete them down here. Yeah, let's go to a daily one. Yeah, clear the sellers in control here. You see that, and the buyers in control here. 15 minutes too short. I mean, you just think, hey, getting some upside, and then you could turn around and the next minute come off down. It's too short. I like the 15 minutes to see for maybe what's happening, any movement, and I like to see maybe an hour or shorter for confirmations, things like that. Yeah, well, I understand why it's a business, Peter. I'm keen to, if I was writing books and selling and people would download it for free, yeah. Yeah, we've all got pretty bad at that. The obsession trying to get something for nothing. Very rarely occurs. You get this free if you buy one of them, yeah. As one guy used to joke, say, I'll paint your house for R1 million and give you a free Mercedes Benz. You know what I mean? Now it's for free. And if it is for free, it's not worth much anyway. Yeah? So I agree with you, mind you, with exception of trading, of course. Of course. Okay, yeah, let's get a quick check on our trades before we close up. AUD CHF. Oh, that's really flying, isn't it? Lost that, I lost that suddenly. GBP CHF seem to be hovering like a lot of these. So yeah, guys, don't forget, it's going to be probably fairly quiet going forward. Major stuff coming out today and tomorrow. Just bear that in mind. Okay, keep an eye on your calendar, keep an eye on the dollar index. Oh yeah, and the other one I printed, for those who don't know, is the yields on the 10-year bond or note, same thing. Okay, why is it important? Because if the yields go up, it usually not word, there's 100% in this business, usually shares, indices, and gold comes off. If the yields go down, then normally gold goes up, the shares go up, the indices go up, just so you know. Okay. If you're trading the NASDAQ, I think one guy's got margin called, please, I beg of you, if you don't have much money, go and get hold of the NASDAQ micro. Do not trade the normal one, you're going to get caught. It's too expensive. Always check. Quickly do this. Left click, right click, specification. What is the contract size? 1. Go to the normal one, which is this one here, and you go to specification. The contract size is 10. So clearly, one contract is 10 times the other one. So 0.01 on here is 10 times 0.01 on the other one. So because the volatility of the NASDAQ, if you have less than 5 grand, do not trade the normal one. You've got to have the micro. If you can't load it to your watch list, okay, by going in there and loading it, you'll have to go to the portal and open up another account, live account, as you did before, and choose the micros option. Not micros currency, no. Micros option, and that's only for the NAS and the Dow. And a guy I'm going to speak to after 11 o'clock, I said, I'll give him a shout. Has been margin called. He went in the NAS, didn't understand, didn't have enough money. It went against him. I think he sold it, and it's nowhere near a stop loss. He didn't understand the maths of it, and he's been clearly margin called. So I have to explain that to him. You will risk getting margin called if you trade the normal NAS on a couple of grand. You don't have enough money to do it. So you've got, that's certainly not the Dow. Okay. Hope that's clear. So if you don't have it, go and open one up, or don't trade the damn thing. That's exactly what's happened, Peter. It's hovering, yeah. It's crabbing, as they say. Okay, so, okay, newer guys, any left on here? Please understand that. Don't play around the NAS, you haven't got the top. Well, yeah, play around with it, make sure you got the mic. It's got plenty of Tom, don't worry about the mic, what you can, you like, but you're wasting your time. What's the point of having more money if you're going to take smaller positions? And there's no point. What is US 100? That's the NAS. It's just, it's a US indices, and it's made up of an index of 100 tech stocks. Well, tech stocks, to be fair, but majority of tech stocks. Okay. So it's sometimes called the US 100, like the Dow is sometimes called the US 30, and the S&P, which is sometimes called the US 500. We don't have the S&P anymore. If you're in it and close it, you can't enter anymore. There's no point when you got the NAS micros to do it. So we're only doing the NAS and the Dow. If you want to do the assume whatever you can, but you've got to have enough money because the contract size is 10. I asked, why would you? They tend to follow the Americans anyway, and you got more versatility using the micro and the NAS. So why would you go that instead? But if you want to, you like the German 30 or the DAX or whatever, you can do it. Okay, so Chepo, there you are. I think MT4 calls the US 100. We call it the NASDAQ. They call it XAU USD. We call it gold. Some call it US oil. That'll be WTI. You get the general idea. But you can always ask. But that's what I need you to do. Ask like that. It doesn't take long, does it? Just clarify it. Easy. I mean, if I don't know, I'll ask somebody else or try and point in the right direction. I won't make it up because I don't want to sound stupid. Okay, we're good. Right, so yeah, so it's going to be a bit quiet. So you've got your trades, keep your fingers crossed. And those who got the Tom, like I mentioned, and not on demos, got the Tom, is properly funded. 100, 200 rand is not properly funded. Join me at 2 o'clock and hope we can make a quick buck out of it using the straddle trade. If you don't understand what I'm talking about in the straddle trade, even after explanation, which I'll do again at 2 o'clock, don't get cute and try it. Got to understand, keep a piece of paper handy, take a note. I'll do it again, don't mind doing 2, 3 times on all the time, but you must get it. I've had occasion where guys still don't understand it, and then my hint to them is go away until you do understand it, because yeah, doing a half cock when you're not quite sure, not a clever thing to do. Okay, guys, before we finish off, last couple of minutes, any questions? Anything you just want a quick clarification of, or anyone? Yeah, questions basically. Anything you just want to go over quickly? Are we all good? Okay, seems so. Great stuff. Thanks, Mark. Great to have you. See you guys 2 o'clock. Make sure your internet's working. Cheers. See you next Friday in company. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you found it instructive. And you guys, hope you're interested enough to join on a regular basis. Ask Chris, he's only been doing a couple of weeks. He's still doing it. It's not, you're not going to learn this in 5 minutes. Gotta stick with it. See you later.